Hello everyone, welcome to this piano tutorial where we'll explore the technique of piano inversions, a fundamental concept in music theory that enables pianists to play the same chord in different positions on the piano. By learning this technique, you can expand your skills and achieve smoother transition between chords, freeing up your hand to focus on other tasks such as singing or playing a melody. So let's get started. Let's start by defining what inversions are. An inversion is a chord that has been rearranged so that the lowest note is no longer the root note. In other words, instead of playing a chord with the root note on the bottom, you play the same chord with a different note on the bottom. Take a C major scale, for example. The C major scale is made up of 3 notes, C, E, and G. We call this the root position because the bottom note, also known as the root note, gives us the name of the chord we are playing. In this case, it is C. Now if we move our root note C up an octave and play E with our thumb, G with our index finger, and C with our pinky finger, we have what we call the first inversion of the C major chord. We are still playing the same 3 notes, but in a different order, and it sounds different. Now from here, we can move our lowest note E up an octave and play G with our thumb, C with our middle finger, and E with our pinky. We end up with what we call the second inversion. Like the first inversion, we are playing the same 3 notes, but in a different order, and that gives us another different sound. From the second inversion, if we move our lowest note G up an octave and play C with our thumb, E with our middle finger, and G with our pinky, we are back to our root position because the lowest note is C. So again, that's root position, first inversion, second inversion, and back to root position. An easy way to remember the inversions is from root position. If we move one lowest note up an octave, that gives us first inversion. If we move 2 lowest notes up an octave, that gives us second inversion. This works the same for minor chords. Let's take C minor chord for example. The C minor chord is made out of C, E flat, and G. This is our root position because C is our lowest note. Now if we move our root note C up an octave and play E flat, G, and C, we have the first inversion. From first inversion, if we move our lowest note E flat up an octave and play G, C, and E flat, we end up with the second inversion. From the second inversion, if we continue to move our lowest note G up an octave, we get C, E flat, and G, which brings us to our root position again. So again, that's root position, first inversion, second inversion, and back to root position. There are reasons why inversions are useful. They add greater harmonic variations and interest in our playing. They also help us to move between chords smoothly and seamlessly. For example, if I'm playing a song that moves from C to A minor, I don't necessarily want to move my hands down like this. Instead, from C major, I can choose to play the first inversion of A minor by moving my pinky from G to A. And I can still play my E with my index finger here. I can do this because I already have C and E. And from A minor, if I were to move to F major, instead of playing the F major chord in root position, I can choose to play the second inversion of F by taking away my index finger and use my middle finger to play F because I already have C and A. We can utilize inversions to switch between chords by moving notes as little as possible to create smooth transitions between chords. So that's it for this piano tutorial on inversions. Remember, inversions are a great way to add variety and interest to your playing, and they can help you create smoother and more harmonically interesting chord progressions. Thanks for watching, and happy playing!